Hi, I'm James Ross.
And this is UK Ride Review, a series of rollercoaster reviews for the Ride Guide where I look at the best and worst of British rides and all the others in between.
In the last episode, I reviewed the shining beacon of magnificence that is Nemesis to Alton Towers. Today, I'm moving to Alton Towers' next door neighbours Drayton Manor and reviewing Shockwave. Stand-up roller coasters were short-lived, and they've become a thing of the past because they never really gained any popularity. In the UK, we've got one. In fact, it's the only one in Europe.
Built in 1994, Shockwave is an Intamin design stand-up roller coaster. At the moment, it pretty much shares the title of Drayton Manor's signature ride along with Apocalypse. In theory, this means that Shockwave should be the best ride at Drayton Manor.
Let's get on with the review then.
The first view you get of Shockwave is as you drive towards the car park, and as a first impression it does a good job. The loop and the lift hill are framed nicely by the surrounding foliage in the lake.
But don't expect this wonderful image to last. We step into the ride area. Drayton has provided some nice overhead track. What element have they decided to wow the guests with? Oh, maybe a corkscrew or a vertical loop or zero-G roll or something. Oh, well, never mind, maybe the queue line might be exciting. Oh dear. And as the station is raised quite a bit off the ground, the queue is made into a sort of tower. It's also dark, cramped, claustrophobic, and also in the summer doubles as an oven.
And even if the queue is empty, you still have to negotiate all those steps.
I'm not going to hold back. Shockwave's queue is the worst in the UK. It really is horrendous. And if the park is busy, then you'll spend quite a while there, because as we'll find out later, the park puts out trains at a rate that would embarrass snails.
Once you've got onto the ride, we now have that impossible challenge of fitting Shockwave's restraints. You start by straddling a thin bar/bike seat, then hook one arm under half an over-the-shoulder restraint, which you can push on with your shoulder to adjust the height. Then pull the rest of the restraint down like traditional restraints.
Of course, all this means that the trains get put out slowly because the loading takes so long. Of course, on the other side of the park you have Apocalypse, which demonstrates a loading system for stand-up trains which is quick and easy.
Well, after spending an eternity in the queue, it's time for the ride. Shockwave starts with a typical curved drop, before pulling up into a vertical loop. There are patches of roughness on the loop, but overall it's good fun. Then, one of the country's most fun elements, surprisingly, is a zero-G roll on a stand-up coaster. This is followed by 2 corkscrews, before the train makes a U-turn back into the station. Yep, that's it. The layout is very short, and let's be honest, there's not much to it. The drop and the loop are very good fun, as they should be for a roller coaster of this size. The zero-G roll is a unique element to the stand-up coaster family, not seen anywhere else, and I'm surprised it hasn't been used in other designs, because the addition of standing up brings a whole new level of sensation to the inversion, and I always come out of it smiling.
Of course, having trekked up all the stairs, you've now got to go all the way back down to ground level, where you can look at your photos and ride again. Alternatively, ride something better. Because, look, just over there, it's Maelstrom. Go ride that. It's much better than this.
Anyway, ratings. First up, visual appeal and theme. Shockwave doesn't have an obvious theme. There is some scenery outside, but once you get into the queue line, it all gets boring.
For visual appeal and theme, Shockwave gets a 4.
Design and operation. The queue is horrid, the trains go out slowly, sometimes they only run one train which makes the queue go even slower.
But Shockwave does salvage some points for its design around the rapids, but even with that, it only gets a 3.
The physical ride.
The first half is fun and provides some thrills, the second half is not so good because it loses pace. The ride is showing its age through its roughness, and the circuit's very short, so for that I'm giving it a 5.
To take the title of Drayton's signature ride, I'd want something that thrills and something that presents itself as an amazing ride. Instead, what we have is a mediocre ride presented in a shed. My overall rating for Shockwave is 4 out of 10.